Alright guys, as I mentioned in the last video, today I'm going to be changing the timing chain and the gears and replacing all that good stuff. It's a little bit noisy on when it gets warmed up. It ain't too bad when it's cold, but as it gets warm it gets to clanging and jangling down in there. And I'll start it up in just a minute and show you that. I've got to take the fan shroud off and I got to take the fan off in order to get down in here where I can get to this job. I don't think it's going to be a terrible job, but I don't know, time will tell. I'll get down in there and we'll find out. Let me crank this thing up and see. I just came from town in it, so the engine's still a little bit warm. Let me crank it up and see if we can hear what I'm talking about. Alright, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but making some racket up here on the front end of the engine. I believe most of the engine sound that's left is from the timing chain. If not, I've got other issues, but that's the last thing I'm going to change. I think it needs to be changed. I don't think it's really hurting anything because it's a non-interference engine, meaning if it jumps time, the pistons will never hit the valves because it don't get close enough to the valves. That's what a non-interference engine means. So let me kill this thing before it gets too hot and I will start taking her apart. Alright, it's time to come off with that damper. Okay guys, we're going to see how this cheap Harbor Freight wheel puller works. Last time I used it was pulling the steering wheel to put the clock spring in. So, kind of curious if it's going to be strong enough to pull that harmonic balancer off. All right, worked great. All right, we're ready to start trying to come off with this timing cover. I'm seeing several different size bolts. The smaller ones, I know they're 11. I've already checked those. Not really sure what those are. And then we got some over there that looks possibly somewhere around a 13, maybe I don't know, somewhere in that ballpark. So I've got several bolts on the front, and then I have 4 that goes through the oil pan and connects to the bottom of the timing cover. So let me get to releasing these bolts and we'll pop this timing cover off and see what we got on the inside. I'll take a picture so I won't have to try to remember. Wow. No wonder it was noisy. It's supposed to have a, see the metal right there? That's wore down into the aluminum. It's supposed to have a plastic runner up in there that the chain runs on. It's been, no wonder it thing's so loud. My goodness. Somebody forgot to put that one piece in right there, so I spent $50 something on parts I didn't need because of the previous owner. That's tight. Well, let me take that back. The top is tight. I was feeling the wrong side. The bottom is loose. This tensioner down here on the bottom is gone. It's been. I'm going to replace it. I can't believe it. The timing cover is okay, but man, if I kept running the way I was running, it wouldn't have been okay. It would have wore plumb through that. I'd have had to replace it. That's just, those are the two ears that holds. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Man, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but I'll show you here. It's like a chain guide. It keeps the chain from hitting metal. So, in which it was doing. Can y'all see that? Top and bottom. Anyway, no surprise. So, let me get down in here and remove this gasket. Remove that timing chain, gears. I gotta remove both of them. So, alright, let me get my napkin. So, I wanna break all this stuff down. Okay, I've got to get my timing marks lined up before I pull this stuff off. There that one is right there. There we go. Okay guys, in my new kit came a new tensioner. I've just now realized those bolts go up from the inside, like inside the oil pan. The oil pan will have to come off in order to put this new tensioner on there as is. I just noticed something. This tensioner's got a C-clip on it. I can pop it off, pop the one off the old one, and put this one on the old one without having to take my oil pan off. I'm not taking the oil pan off. I was not counting on that. So let me get down here and pop those C-clips off, and I'm going to change this piece first. So I got the C-clip off this first one, and so this should just slide off just like that. Yeah, oh, it has a C-clip on behind, so the other one should have a C-clip on behind as well. I will verify that because previous owner, you know how they are. But anyway, what I have to be careful of course, is when I pop this C-clip off, the one that's down there on the engine, not to let the C-clip fall into the oil pan. So I'm not going to get that on camera. It's tight quarters down there. I will come back when I have this successfully installed. Okay, I got the tensioner put on, and now it's time to go back on with these gears. Alright, this cam gear bolt gets 80 foot-pounds. So I went and borrowed a click wrench. I need one of my own, but my father-in-law has one. So I just use this. And this engine will probably try to turn over. Yep. All right, 80 foot-pounds. Now I've got to knock out this seal, which was actually leaking a little bit. I didn't realize it. I'm not going to bore y'all with that. I'm going to knock it out and get the new one put back in. All right, here's that piece that was missing from the timing chain cover. I'll turn it so you can see it a little better. It goes right down in here like this. So they lift this piece out altogether, and I want to put it back in. This is rubberized, so but that keeps the chain from hitting these metal ears. So let me get this mashed in there good, and I got one more thing to show you before I put the cover on. The last piece to this puzzle before you start putting everything back together. Alright, I can't hardly get down in there to where I'm wanting to get to because the radiator and things are in the way. But on the front of this piece right here, this black piece, it don't have tension on it right now. There's a lever in the front of it, and that lever needs to be released going down. And let me try to do that with one of these tools right here, and you'll watch it put tension on the chain. Alright, you see the chain pop up tight? So the other one wasn't doing that very well. So now I'm ready to put the timing chain gasket on. I'm going to put RTV sealant in the corners of the oil pan gasket. I'm going to use the same oil pan gasket because the one that comes with the kit is junk, and this one right here looks perfectly fine. And then I will put the gasket on around through here dry. That's what Phil Pro says to do, and that's what I'm going to do. I've got all the bolts started, but not tight. You use the damper or the harmonic balancer to put it on the crankshaft, and it will center the seal around this. And then when you get that centered, the timing chain cover is then centered, and that's when you tighten all your bolts up. And this will have to come back off again because there's going to be 2 bolts behind it that I can't get to with this on. So let me go ahead and put this on. I'm just going to try to just get it started and not all the way on, just so I can know that I've got my timing chain cover centered. All right, I got the harmonic balancer partially installed. I've got the lower oil pan bolts tightened up all the way, and now I've got to tighten up the ones that I can get to up here, and then I'll take the harmonic balancer back off and tighten those last two that I can't get to. All right, I'm gonna hit these right here with the ratchet, and then I'll come back when I'm taking the harmonic balancer back off and show you what I do there. All right, I've got the harmonic balancer back off, and now I'm ready to tighten up these last two bolts, and then I can go back together with the easy stuff. All right, I'm going to finish those up with a wrench. Guys, I do want to make mention that on all these seals and things, I did lubricate those with oil. I even lubricated the back side of the damper right there. And on the timing chain and the gears, I also lubricated those. I couldn't bear the thought of those starting under a complete dry condition like that. So I thought better safe than sorry. Alright guys, at this point I've just got to go back together with the things you've already seen me take apart. Fan shroud, fan, and the belt, and I'll be done. So I'm going to go ahead and knock that out, and I'll come back and we'll give this thing a first start on camera. Well, guys, I got everything buttoned back up. I'm almost afraid to start it. I've worked on this thing just about all day. It's getting a little bit later. I started on it about 12 o'clock, and it is now, it's 4 o'clock. So that's about 4 hours any way you look at it. So, and I probably could have done it faster. I just want to make sure I did everything just right. So, all right, I'm fixing fired up, and we're going to see what she sounds like. The timing chain is totally quiet, but I still hear some lifter noise, so it didn't get rid of all. I was hoping all of that I was hearing was timing chain, but it's not. I hear a distinct, you can probably hear it on the camera pretty good. It's pretty loud. Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I'm hearing. I haven't had the valve cover or anything off to check any of that. At this point, I mean, I've run it several thousand miles. I put probably 8,000 miles on it. Anyway, it's running good. Engine is smooth as silk. I just hear that tapping over there under the valve cover. I believe it's the lifters or something, but it's not bad enough for me to mess with it. I got my timing job done, and it is so much quieter up here in the very front. That actually got quiet right there just then, just totally went away. I will run it down the road and bring it up to temperature. That's when it was the noisiest before. And see what we got then. I've got a pile of junk to clean up. I make such a mess when I work on anything. So anyway, man, all that sound I was hearing, it just went away. I believe it'll come back when it warms up, because that's, like I said, that's when it's the noisiest. I still hear just a little bit down in there. It is so quiet up here in the front of this engine. I was hearing some looseness sounding, and I don't hear any of that anymore. I believe it's running better than it used to run. Alright, let me clean some of this stuff up. I'll take it down the road and get her up to operating temperature, and then I'll close this video out. Alright guys, I got it up to 200 and almost 10 degrees. I've drove it about 10 miles. And all I can say is wow, what a difference. It used to be so loud when it got up to operating temperature. Now it is so quiet. It used to even be loud down here under the bottom. And it is not loud now. I am so happy. The engine, I mean, I know the engine's got to be wore out. It's got blow by. I've got a mod I'm going to be doing to the Jeep. That's another video. I'll show y'all what I want to do. I've been getting some oil in my throttle body, and I've got a hack that you can do to stop that from happening. And anyway, man, it's running like a champ. Well guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Man, what a difference that made. I wasn't expecting it to. When I first cranked it, I was thinking, well, it helped a little bit. After I ran it and got it warmed up, I guess everything lubed up, it is almost silent. You hear a little bit of maybe lifter or rocker arms, just very, very subtle, but it was to the point where when I went through a drive-through, I would cut the engine off because it was so noisy. Had to be that timing chain hitting that cover. So anyway, that's fixed. I'm tickled to death with it. This is a success. I was dreading doing it. I knew I could do it. I just didn't know how long it would take. It took me about 4 hours. So, well worth it. And y'all, I thank you for stopping by today and watching. And y'all come back next time. I'll catch y'all then. Yeah.